Hey there, aspiring guitarists. Today I'm going to talk about out of control cases. You can see the cases behind me in the little closet portion. You can see them over here. They're stacked up. I've got about 15 more out in my garage. And they're out of control. And so I've got to do something with the cases. Now, don't get me wrong. If I had 1, 2, 3 guitars, it wouldn't be a deal. But I collect guitars, as y'all know. Many, even high-end guitars, come with gig bags. I do not keep guitars, even in cases, out in my garage. I keep... Now, there are some guitars in the cases back there with humidipacks in them. And you can see my humidifier. It's going right now. I have hygrometers all over different walls there in the back. I go to a lot of trouble to control the environment in my guitar studio. I'm going to talk about this here in just a minute. But my cases are out of control. I can hang guitars. Now, I'm not even going to go there with the debate about your guitar should be in a case. Your guitar should be where you can play it. That just, no, ain't going there. You want to put it in the comments, tell other people, knock yourself out. We've all got opinions. I'm telling you what I'm doing, and I did do some research on this before I did it. And like many things where you make a decision, the research is all over the place. It's a rabbit hole. But here's what I'm going to do. So, I'm not going to do this with my hard shell cases that have the nice velvety, carpety lining. I'm worried about mold. Now, I've got Hydro Packs that I bought from Amazon. You can get them in all different sizes. And that opens up a whole nother can of worms of discussion. How long do they last? How many should you put in? How big a size? Blah, 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 on and on. Remember, I'm talking about what I'm doing with my cases. So this will make sense here in a minute. Some people throw them in their guitar cases with a guitar. I don't do that. I use a Diadiero humidipack that takes care of both too much humidity and a lack of humidity. When I do put them in a case, and I do have some in the case in here. But what I've decided to do is I have Martins, I have Godins, I have Taylors. And guys, I'm not, and gals, I'm not gigging now. I occasionally play in a worship environment. That big giant Roadrunner up there is an extremely well padded gig bag. And then I have Gator cases that are ABS and TSA approved. If I got to go somewhere with one of my mini guitars, I've got it covered. But I don't have to have it covered and leave behind 30 cases. When only one's going to get me to where I'm going. So consequently, I'm trying to make some room. I've had to move the drums out of here. I want to get rid of the lower tier of guitars. I've got guitars overhead here. I've done some videos where I showed the whole room, and that doesn't even include the guitars that, with my wife's approval, who I did teach how to play guitar, I have some really ornate, beautiful guitars, a couple hanging in the living room, and only a couple now in the guest bedroom. I used to have the guest bedroom just filled up. So I'm trying to downsize my collection because I've played enough guitars now, and I am a collector. And y'all have heard me say, I don't apologize, I'm not going to. But my shoulder, I had a Dupuytren contracture. I still do, but at least I've got back to where I can play. It kept me from playing for 5 years once I turned 57 and I'm 64 now. The shoulder, I get up every morning, I do some yoga exercises, some twirls and twists and things to keep it going. But I can't play dreadnoughts anymore without pain. Now, it's not too bad if I'm standing up with a strap. Enough of all that. What am I going to do about all these cases? Well, I only have a one-car garage, and we don't even put a car in it. I have an older house near the lake, and they didn't have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 car garages. But I do have a very big storage shed. And I would never put a guitar in a case in a storage shed. Now, it's a very insulated storage shed. So what I've done is I bought these on Amazon. They're 95-gallon clear bags. And, they pull out, then you got to rip them off. But the reason I bought this particular brand is because the height, and was 60 inches. Well, as you know, most cases at the most are a little bit over 40 inches, unless you're dealing with a big bass case or something like that. So, 45 inches will cover even big cases for the most part. Well, what I've decided to do is I'm going to put gig bags. And I'm going to drop, and I know the debate that can rage, and you're welcome to share it with each other. I'm dropping one large silica gel packet in there, and so let me just tear one off for you so you can see what it's like. So I'm still pulling. And then finally, okay. So, let's take a look at this puppy. Alright, it's touching the floor. Let me back up a little where you can see. And you can see it is about 60 inches. Because I've shrunken down to about 5'8". So, it's 60 inches. It'll easily cover a guitar case. Now, the first one I did is a Cordova for that Cordova Protege Matisse Classical, and my Godin multi-act boom dial. So it's just 2 gig bags. But you can see they're in there. I dropped a dry pack in here that I just showed you. And then I bought these in bulk. They're nothing but Velcro ribbon ties. But they do a really good job. I bought a bulk pack. They small ones this size, even longer ones. I use them for all kind of things around the house. And then I use these hang tags, that you can write on, and then you just put it around something and put it through. And as you can see, I've got Godin gig, and I've got Cordova gig. Godin, Cordova. And this is where I tied it shut, and it's tight. It's packed tight. So this is going to go in my storage shed along with a bunch more. Is it a perfect solution? No. But my wife and I bought this house trying to downsize. We bought this house, and the lake is across the street. It's just me and her now. Unless one of the kids comes over and stays or something like that. But when you downsize, you really have to downsize. So, whittling down my guitar collection was part of this. And I'm still going to keep whittling it down. I hope in 3 months it's probably going to stop right there. Now, that doesn't mean I won't quit buying guitars. I'll still trade, buy, swap. I love to play different guitars. I love to, and I do have needs, as I've shared with y'all, when I need a classical, when I need an electric, things of that nature. But I realize all the debate that can come from this. I do. I really do. But once again, I'll try to put a link in the description. I'm not doing it's in my description by default, but I'm not doing the Amazon, whatever it is, where you get back a tiny bit from if somebody buys something. It's just not worth it's not worth it to me. I know I'm not knocking Amazon. I use Amazon all the time, way too much. But it was taken away from me wanting to do the channel. Y'all know I run most of this off the cuff. I don't pull these videos once I create them, into a timeline editor, and I know how to do that. I have an extensive computer background, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not trying to make a six-figure living. Heck, I'm not even making a three-figure living off YouTube. I do this because I enjoy doing it, and I hope it helps. It's my way of trying to give something back. So I may go ahead and load the video and then check back and update. I'll drop the links into Amazon for this, the Hydra packs. I don't know. I think I can find the assortment of ribbons. But anyway, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, I'm going out to the storage shed. And my storage shed doesn't get attacked by vermin and things like that. And I'm sure I know it's got its share of spiders and stuff. I went to raise one of the windows the other day, and a nice little black widow was in the corner, and I was like, okay, but I kind of grew up around the country. I'm used to looking under things and being careful when I lift something up or poking my hand into something. That don't mean I won't get bit tomorrow, but at any rate, after a certain amount of time, I'll go back out there. I'll make sure there's no mold. And I don't expect mold on these gig bags, but there could be. And some gig bags even have a plush lining, and I don't want to do that yet. So I just don't know that I feel comfortable till I've checked these. I may even have to wait and let a year go by and go through all the seasons. I don't know. I'm going to check on them enough to make sure they don't ruin, and things like that. So anyway, it's just my solution to make some more room as a guitar collector. So, and you may not be a guitar collector and you zoned out 10 minutes back. I don't blame you either. So anyway, but I do appreciate you watching. I hope this is something, if you do this, you're on your own. I mean, I can't keep I don't know your environment. I'm not an expert. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. And, so always be careful. I mean, you move anything to what could be considered a harsh environment, you run the risk of it getting ruined. So you have to think about all those things. I told you when I started researching this, oh God, the comments and the solutions were all over the place, and you expect them to be. I mean, I'm in Birmingham, Alabama. It's a very hot, humid environment, very humid. So, I'm going to have a different environmental wear than somebody, say, out in the West in the desert, or somebody up in Alaska. You have to factor all those things in. So anyway, I hope this gives you some thoughts. It might work for you, might not. You may think I'm crazy. That's fine too. If you want to tell me I'm crazy in the comments, hey, knock yourself out. But anyway, I hope your guitar journey is a blessed one. And most of all, and I do mean it, happy picking.